If you guys are in technical sales and you're struggling with your goals and your mindset, not really closing all the business that you want to, then on this episode, we're going to cover the key areas for you to focus on to give you that boost you need halfway through this year.
I had to switch up the flow, show you the way that it go. God is good, but his life is hard. But it gets better when you grind it small. I'm just really trying to leave a mark. We tired of being who they say we are. That's the baton, we gon' take it far. Always been real, we don't fake it all. Tired of 9 to 5, just make enough to survive.
For today's topic, we're going to talk about mindset and goals. So the first thing we want to talk about is why should you look at your goals and look at your mindset? Like, why should that be important? Now, from a goal standpoint, most people's goals are weak, right? Like your goals are like, I want to close 10 new customers this year. And let's talk about the different people that I'm talking to here. You got the younger blood that may be coming with a little bit more ambition into this technical sales role or manufacturing sales engineering. And they're like, dude, I'm gonna crush it, and I'm new and I'm fresh and I've got a lot of energy and drive, but they don't really know the potential that they can get to because they haven't ever been in the role before. And I'm here to tell you, like in technical sales, you can make an insane amount of money. And insane is a relative definition, right? Depending on what it means to you. But you can easily, and by easy, I mean, it is achievable. You can make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year doing technical sales. Anybody that's naysayers out there says you can't do it, I'm here to tell you that you can. One, I know people that do it. Two, I did it for almost a decade. This is achievable, but the younger blood may not know that because some of the more complacent veterans are like, no, dude, like you can make 140, 160 with good commission, maybe 180. No, that's not the case. If you crush it, you can make a very good living. And that's where you have to look at your goals. What are your goals and how do you set your goals? Now, in my opinion, your goals that you have personally, whether it's for your own personal life or for your career, they should be like, no way, dude. Like that's like, they should somewhat embarrass you from a standpoint that your goals are so big that people are like, that's impossible for you to achieve. That's the type of goals you need to have. You need to say, I'm going into this role and I want to make $700,000 a year selling plastic, or I want to make $800,000 a year selling this software. Is that an insane goal to most people? Yes. But if you have that goal, you're going to reverse engineer and go back to how much work do you have to put in to get to that goal over how much time. But most people have these minimal goals where it's like, all right, this year, I closed $1 million worth of business. Next year, my goal is going to be a 20% increase. I think that's a good goal. So I'm going to close 1.2 million in new business. No, if you did $1 million in business this year, then your next goal for next year should be, I want to do $6 million. And that is your goal. And then you need to basically make sure that you have the roadmap and the plan of how do you achieve that goal. But it all starts with that initial idea. What's the amount of money that you want to make? What type of house do you want to live in? What type of donations do you want to give to your church or anything like that? What type of spouse do you want to have? What type of lifestyle do you want to have? Your goal should be insane. You should be like hesitant to tell them to people in fear that they're going to just laugh at you. But if your goals are mediocre, people, yeah, I could see that. If you're like, I want to make 140. If anybody says, yeah, you could definitely do that in the first 6 months, your goal is too low. And I feel like a lot of people in technical sales, especially people that have been doing it for a while, you become complacent. Like you're making 100K, 130K base, 80K base, whatever it is. And you get into it and you're like, yeah, I made 120, 130 this year. Like that's good. My goal, maybe you originally had dreams of 300,000, 400,000, and then you got told no too many times year after year, and you're not hitting your metrics and your quota. And then you just gave up on that goal, right? And that's where your mindset comes in to further push you to achieve those goals. If your goals are weak, just be like, dude, my goals are weak. Nobody's ever told me that my goals are weak. This is the first time I'm hearing it, because this can be game changing for you. Now, from a goal standpoint, you have to look at it in all aspects of your life. You have to make sure that you set that goal and that you do the work going towards that goal. Do not let anybody tell you you cannot achieve that goal. It may be crazy insane to think that you can reach that goal. But if you give up on that, then you're just becoming complacent. And that's what a lot of the veterans have done. I don't care if you've been doing this 5 years you've been doing this 25 years, you become complacent. Maybe you're happy at making $180,000, $200,000 a year. Maybe you're fine. That's fine. Just own up to that. Like, I don't have any ambition or goals outside of that. But I'm here to tell you, you guys that have been doing this for a while, if this younger generation comes in, some mid-20s, late 20s, early 30-year-old guys and girls come in and they're super ambitious, they are going to beat you down. They are going to be the new top salesperson. They're going to be going after that management role where they're doing all the selling and managing the people. And then they've got teams and they're taking part commission from the teams because they train their teams, they build up their teams, and they teach their teams. Those people will eventually put you into a place where you're just the lowest man on the totem pole because they are super ambitious, because their goals are so broad. That's where you really have to think about it. Now, if you're like, hey, I'm happy, that's great. I'm not here to tell you that you should have a goal of $500,000 a year for your annual income, but I'm here to tell you that you can. That is an achievable dream of yours. You can do it. Now, let's go back to, who are you working for? What is the vehicle that you're in to get you that goal? Maybe the vehicle that you're in, I don't mean car, I mean the company that you work for, is not set up to be able to help you get there, right? If you say, I want to make $500,000 a year, this is my base at 120, I need to fill out 380 in commission based on a 3% plan, that means that I need to do, I don't know, 30, 40, $50 million a year in revenue. And if you're working for a company that is $1.2 million, then that vehicle will not reach you to your goal. And that's where you have to think to yourself, is that goal something that needs to be for the next company? And maybe your initial goal is, I want to get 10 million in new business, which is going to give me $300,000, because it's not easily achievable. It's outside of my reach, but it's a good thing to go after. Once you get that experience, then you get to be hired at a new company that's bigger, that can help you achieve your goal. Like, you have to ask yourself those questions. Is the company I'm working for going to help me reach my goal? Do not become complacent. If you look around the world today, everything is more expensive, right? Everything is insanely expensive, whether it's from housing to the cost of milk and everything in between. It's not going to get overnight drastically better. Everything is just slowly increasing. So $125,000 10 years ago is a lot different than $125,000 now. Does not get you as far. So you have to think to the future. If your goal is 160 and you get there in 2 years and then that's it, then you're eventually, a few years after that, you're going to realize that that's not enough for you to achieve the lifestyle that you want. And it doesn't mean you need to buy things. It just means that the lifestyle that you're looking for, whether it's financial freedom, you want to be able to not have to work 60 hours a week, or whether you do want a big boat or a big house, or whether you want to have a plush savings account for you to invest into real estate on the side, whatever your goals are, it doesn't have to be a materialistically driven goal. It just has to be a goal from a financial standpoint that's going to make you comfortable. Maybe you want to retire at the age of 40. Your goal needs to help you get there. So you have to really sit long and hard. People usually only do this once a year. When it comes to the end of the year, they say, here's my New Year's resolution, and then they stop going after that New Year's resolution after 7 days, 14 days, whatever it is. They never think about it. I'm here to tell you, we're now halfway through the year. Have you audited your goals? Have you audited what you originally set out for? Is this video that you're watching or audio on our podcast making you think, dude, I need to redo my goals right now? Kyle's making a good point. I need to set my goals. Now, you need to look at those goals on a daily basis. You need to write those goals down on a daily basis. You need to make sure that you're staying focused to those goals, and then look at all the actions in your life based on your 5, 6 big, massive goals that you're trying to achieve. Everything in your life then says, if this comes up, if somebody wants me to do something, or I've got this opportunity, or I want to do these tasks, is it driving me towards my goal? Because if it isn't, you shouldn't do it. And if you get a lot of those things that you shouldn't do, then you maybe need to change the field that you're in, or change the people that are around you. If it's like, well, with this business, like for instance, MFG Tribe, how big we're trying to take MFG Tribe, anything that comes up, any new idea of new videos we should create, new marketing stuff, new platforms, I think to myself, will doing this get me closer to my goal? And if it doesn't, then I don't want to do it. Because to me, it's just a waste of time, money, energy, and effort. But I always throw it up against those massive goals that we have. Now, that brings us into the next topic, which is going to be mindset. The mindset is going to drive your goals. If you have lofty goals and you have big goals, but your mindset is jacked up, if you're the type of person that a situation comes up, you instantly think something negative, your mindset is messed up. You have to go into everything looking at it like the silver lining. Like, anything can happen in my life, and I always look at it as, well, it could be worse, and let's just handle this situation straight on. There's no need to get frustrated, angry, annoyed, and be crazy about it and think super negative. Let's just handle the situation, find something positive in it, and then figure out the solution to either prevent that from happening or fix that problem. That's how you have to look at everything. If somebody says no to you, we had a potential customer say no, which I take as not right now to us, about a week and a half ago, which I shared on one of my lives last week. It was a big opportunity. I wanted this customer bad, but we didn't get it. Did that annoy me that we didn't get it? Yeah, but did it ruin my day? No, it didn't, because I look at it from the standpoint of what could we have done differently? How are we going to get these people back? How are we going to win them from the people that they chose in 6 months, 3 months, 12 months? And that's how you have to look at it. It's like, they said no, but it's just not right now. But we are going to get another opportunity with them, and we are going to close that deal. And I'm thinking positively and sending out those good vibes that we will get that company as a client. So like literally everything you look at that happens to you, which is what a lot of people say, like everything happens to you. No, you have control over everything that's around you. Like if there's traffic, it's not get mad at the traffic. You take ownership and said, I should have left earlier. So it's all about changing that mindset. There's tons of books on it. There's tons of videos on it. I am by no means an expert, but I have studied it significantly over the last 5 to 10 years. Goals and mindset go hand in hand. You can have the best goals and be like, dude, my goals are so big, but my mindset is jacked up. You will never achieve it. You have to think of it from the standpoint that in order for me to hit my goals, I'm going to have to bust my butt in order to get there. And when life throws me garbage during the day and all these fires you have to put out and bad news and some good news and issues and employee issues and employer issues and personal issues, and it throws it all at you, you still have to say, dude, it's all good. Like I got control over my decisions. I got control over my life. I'm moving towards that goal. It doesn't matter what you throw at me. I'm still going to deflect that out and take care of it, turn it into something positive, and then keep moving towards that goal. But that's the only thing that can keep you going is if you have your eyes on the prize of that goal. You have to just break it down from a standpoint of, is this like really that bad? Like something happens, do you need to freak out about it? If you don't get that customer like I did in a week and a half ago, do you have other customers in the pipeline? And a lot of these technical salespeople out there, like you're banking on closing that one big whale, right? You're like, oh, if I get this guy, it's going to set me up. I'm going to get $100,000 a year in commission. That's going to roll everything else out. And you're like super set on it. And then you don't get it. And all your eggs are in that one basket. And then you end up getting super pissed off, right? And once you get super pissed off, there's nothing coming back from that. It's hard to switch that mindset back over. And so you have to be able to have enough in your pipeline to where it's like, that deal didn't happen right now. That's okay, because I've got 7 others just like that I'm equally excited about closing those guys, because you're not going to always close them all, right? You're going to close a percentage of them, but you got 7 other deals that you're trying to work, and that one didn't go through, but you've got other ones that you're still focusing on. And if all 7 of those don't go through and you don't have anything else in the pipeline, then you need to fix the problem, which is possibly 1, your pitch and your sales process, or 2, your sales process. You don't have enough people in the pipeline. You should be having millions of dollars worth of business in the pipeline at all times if you don't fix the sales process. Maybe you're not doing enough outbound marketing, doing enough inbound marketing, doing enough cold calling, sales activities, outreach, smile and dialing. You're not doing enough of that because you don't have enough in your pipeline, to where if you are banking on that one deal or those 5 deals coming through and they don't come through, then you end up trying to fix a short-term problem with a short-term solution, which is maybe taking on customers that you don't really want to take on, which has a slippery slope. But it's all about that mindset, and you always have to keep that goal as your North Star, saying, this is what I'm working towards. My mindset is going to work towards me, and you have to think about it all the time. And that brings us into our last point, which is going to be, you need to audit yourself. You need to look at yourself from the standpoint of, are you doing this every day? Are you thinking about it every day? Have you gotten off track? Have you gotten off course? Have you not looked at your goals in 6 months or 6 years? Have you not gone through this process? I mean, we're halfway through the year, so do it now. Do it today. Don't wait until the end of the year to set your goals again, but do your financial goals, your personal goals, and all of those different aspects of your life, and audit yourself and really hold yourself accountable and say, yeah, you know what? I haven't been focusing on my goals. My mindset has been shifted. I have been more negative. I'm not going after the things that I wanted to go after. That's where you just have to look at it and be real with yourself and audit. I could tell you that there are plenty of times where I have not looked at my goals and not done it every single day. And I could tell it by my actions at work. And I could tell it by my mindset. Like, I don't have motivation to do that. Why don't you have motivation to do that? I've lost my bigger picture. What am I trying to go after? I'm trying to go after that, whether it's I'm trying to build my business to be $100 million a year, or I'm trying to get that six pack, or I'm trying to lose 40 pounds, or I'm trying to find myself a spouse that aligns with me and that I want to marry and have kids with. Whatever it is, if you lose focus on that goal, then your mindset is going to go to the place of like, that's not achievable, it's negative, and you need to kick that negativity right out of your brain. There's tons of books about it. And if I gather a list of the books that I've read, then we can definitely share it out there in a LinkedIn post. So be sure to connect with me, or at least follow me on LinkedIn. And I'll list out the top 10 most influential books about goals and mindset out there that you need to read. And when I say read them, I don't mean like read one of them. I mean like read all 10 of them in like 2 months. Like burn through them like a book a week. These are easy reads that really can shift your mindset into a completely different place, and you will see massive improvement and results once you do that. Guys, YouTube channel, over 250 videos. Subscribe and turn on notifications. If you want to listen to the podcast, Technical Sales and Marketing, on all the podcast platforms, be sure to subscribe to that. If you get value out of this, share it with somebody that you know. Connect or follow me on LinkedIn, and we will see you on the next one.